Hey guys, it's Annie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I did this holiday makeup look. Kind of like a Christmas makeup look slash Thanksgiving makeup look slash kind of could also be New Year's Eve makeup look. Any kind of holiday makeup that you want to do. I feel like this kind of just ties everything together. It's just kind of like a classic look. So yeah, let's do some new holiday makeup. I'm gonna get started using the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. I love this guy. This really does give you that filter effect. Blurs your pores. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing two. So I have the Morphe Filter Effect in medium 10. And I'm just going to do one drop of the Superstay 24 Hour in Sun Beige. I always like to mix two foundations to get the perfect formula, but also the perfect color. Since I change in the winter. Right, got this here on my brush. And this is the Kabuki brush from Larousse. I love this brush. So I'm applying my foundation with this brush, and then I'm going to go over it with a beauty blender. My favorite concealer recently has been the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is in C7. I need a new one of these, so I'm just like scraping the barrel here. I typically just go on the inner corners of my eyes since I have like the blue veins right on the side there. And then I do the sides of my nose here. Then the mustache. A little bit on the chin. I've been using a lot less concealer around my eyes. I think it's just from getting older. My eyes were just looking so crepey and dry. And I mean, I really don't have dark circles that I need to conceal or anything like that. To set this, I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Pound Cake Setting Powder. I really love the Laura Mercier setting powder. This is just their translucent setting powder. But this does give really bad flashback. So if you know that you're gonna be getting photos taken or anything like that, that is not the one. But Huda Beauty is great. I love this one anyway. This is my second favorite. Makes you look really good in photos. And I love that Huda Beauty's powders come in so many different shades. By the way, guys, every single brush that I'm using is by Larousse. This isn't sponsored by Larousse, but just to let you know, because I always forget to mention brushes as we go. And I also feel like it's a little bit monotonous to keep mentioning brushes, but I'll have everything listed in the description. For my forehead, since I do have a creasy forehead, I just like to leave a little bit on there baking while we finish up the makeup look, and then I'll dust that off at the end. I also leave a little bit around my nose here just to help with those smile lines. I'm gonna be using the Cheek Stars Reunion Tour palette. This is by, I almost said Hoola Bronzer, by Benefit. But Hoola Bronzer is just the best contouring powder. It's not too gray, it's not too warm toned, but for my nose, I've pretty much just been focusing on this part of my nose here and then the tip, because I do have a pretty narrow bridge for the most part, but contouring this part of my eye that just leads into the eyeshadow look, I feel like just gives it a really finished look. And I pretty much just focus on underneath to make my nose look a little bit shorter. And then since I have a little bit more of a bulbous tip, I just darken this area, and then I just take my contour brush and just kind of tap over the entire thing. It's not like a super professional nose contour, but it's been working for me. And to warm up my nose a little bit, I go in with, this is the Makeup Revolution Mega Bronze in Warm. This is just like a darker contour shade, and I use this on the tip of my nose as well. This just gives you the appearance of a smaller nose without the lines. I feel like the lines are what makes it look super unnatural, at least on me and maybe the techniques that I was using. I mean, this doesn't, I guess, look completely natural. Everyone can tell that your nose looks a little bit darker than the rest of your face, but I kind of like that look. I know I was spending so much time getting the lines even that it was just, my nose contour was taking me like an hour, and then it would mess up my entire day if it just didn't look right. So now I'm just like, fuck it. I'm taking that same contour blending, I'm gonna sculpt out the cheeks. And then underneath the chin, the jawline. And if you're looking for more of a sculpted look but don't want it to look too heavy, this just looks a little bit more natural when you go in with your setting powder and just go underneath of that contour. That way you're chiseling out that line a little bit more, but you're not using a darker contour to sculpt it. And then we can just let this bake while we finish out the eyes. For my highlighter, I do this before I do my eyes for some reason. I don't know why, it helps me visualize the look a little bit more to have the highlight done. But I just go on the middle, like right in the center of my eyes here, and then I do the tip. Then I just blend that out slightly. I'm just tapping it. This also just makes your nose look a little bit smaller because you're bringing attention right to the tip of your nose. I also like to do my blush right now, and then I top it off when I'm finished the entire look, because everyone knows blush is the first to go. This way, when you're double layering it, I think it lasts a little longer. But I'm going in with the Cherry Coke. This is by Morphe. This is Cherry-fied. It's just like the perfect cranberry blush. I'm just adding this to the apples of my cheeks here. And I'm also just going over the bridge. I love that like sun-kissed, frostbitten nose look. Then I also go underneath a little bit. Got to contour my forehead, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. And we're gonna leave that center there where it's baking, and then I'll buff it out at the end. I also focus on my contour a little bit more on the sides here. I've been doing that recently and really liking it. It just makes your face look a little bit more narrow. For my brows, I use 2 different products. So first I brush up my brows. You can use any spoolie for this. Then I go into this powder. This is by Sistar Cosmetics, and it has 2 different shades here. I believe they have others with like lighter shades if you want lighter, but I think this is the darkest one. Yeah, this is the darkest one. This is the Eyes Shine and Line pencil, but I really love this guy for doing my brows. I guess you could use any pencil brush for this. It helps with that fluffiness. It kind of does the work for you. Then as I'm doing it, I kind of brush these hairs down. I don't focus too much on the inner corner because I like a little bit of the gradient look, where I focus more of the color on the outer. So I've been doing more of like a fluffy straight brow look, but like with a little bit more of an arch, I guess. Like I bring it down a little bit more than just like the straight brow look. I like the way that the straight brow looks in photos and even videos, but in person, guys, like I'm a little embarrassed to walk around like that. I think especially just when you're going to places where there's not other people who know a lot about makeup, so they don't necessarily see that it's like a trend and they're like, what is happening over there? And I think just for my face, it just suits me with a little, like having the brow come down a little bit. So I'm just kind of creating a little bit more of an arch up here. And then I'm gonna go in with a liner to draw the tail on. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. And I draw out a little bit further than where my natural brow is. And then I go and connect where my natural brow is. So it's still a straight brow look, I guess, but I just feel like it looks a little bit more natural. Then after I draw the lines, I just comb it out, blend in that color a little bit. Then I just grab like a pointed Q-tip sometimes if I feel like I went too crazy and just kind of form it. It took me like 100 hours, but I'm gonna cut it to make it look like I'm a pro. I'm jealous of people who already have a brow shape that's pretty close to this. Like my brow hairs, guys, I mean, you can see some of them, but mine come all the way down to like here. Like it's like a whole thing. It like wraps around my eyes. And in my older videos, you can see, like I used to like fully, like that was my brow. Like I just like filled it all in and it was like this weird curvy thing. I don't even know. Okay, now for the eyes. You guys are like, finally. All right, this is the Natasha Denona Retro Palette. So I'm kind of gonna do like a cranberry-ish smoky eye, but I'm gonna top it off with some gold glitter. Like not gold glitter, it's hard to explain here. Let me show you guys so you don't tune out. It's not glitter. It's a ColourPop topper shade. I love this one. This is Secret Garden. This shade on top of anything really, but on top of cranberries, oh, it just gives it not like a rose gold. I don't know, it's hard to describe. But I'm dipping into the shade Amara, which is kind of like the mauve shade in there. I'm gonna go right in the crease. And I like to bring my eyeshadows slightly into that inner corner to blend it with that contour. And then up to the tip of the brow a little bit. Now I'm taking the shade Groove, which is, it's not the darkest cranberry shade in the palette, but it's the second darkest. The darkest is Rebellion, but I'm taking Groove into the outer corner of the eye. I feel like I basically do the same eye look just with different colors in every single video. Once I find a style that I really like, I feel like I just wind up sticking to it. But that changes all the time. Last year, like the halo eye was a big thing for me, where I would do like the darker in the inner corner and the outer corner and then do a lighter in the middle. But I feel like the way that I do my eyes now is like universally flattering because it just makes your eyes, like it elongates your eyes by focusing more on the darker colors on the outer corner. And I'm just tapping around that darker shade just to gradiate it a little bit so it's not a super harsh line there. It's more smoky. Now I'm gonna go in and deepen it a little bit more, just subtly using that shade Rebellion. So I'm pretty much just going over top of Groove, which is that last shade that we used, and just doing the outer V of the eye. The thing that I really love about this palette is that there's not any fallout, even with the darker shades, which is really hard to do. I'm taking that same shade Rebellion and just slightly going on the inner crease here, just to blend it all together. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Go-Go, which is almost like a metallic light mauve. I'm just taking this with my pinky finger and putting this all over the inner corner of the lid. And I'm also gonna take that shade Patty, which is right next to that guy. I'm just adding that on top for just a little bit extra metallic. This step is optional because it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm gonna be going over it with that ColourPop shade that I showed you guys, but just so that you can see what you can do with this palette alone. Then underneath the eye, I'm pretty much gonna use all of the same shades that we used for this entire eye look and just build them up underneath, primarily focusing on the outer corner. So I'm going lightest to darkest. So I took that original shade that we used, Amara. I think I called it Amora the first time. And I'm just kind of blending that all over the under eye. And then when it comes to the darker shades, I'll focus more on the outer corner. Doing underneath the eye just really completes the look. For the waterline, I'm gonna go in with this Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil in Rockstar. Yeah, the camera is just not doing it justice, but it's like a really deep cranberry. It's just beautiful on the eye. Then I'm grabbing a pencil brush to just shade underneath of here with that darkest cranberry shade in the palette. And if you have really small eyes and want to make them look a little bit bigger, you can either leave this space blank and not do your waterline, or you can go in with like a nude pencil in the waterline. That'll make your eyes look a little bigger. Now finally, to take that ColourPop shade that I showed you guys, Secret Garden. Let me show you this on my hand. Ugh, look at it. This is like a goldy coppery shadow and it has some pink sparkle in it. It just makes it the most amazing topper shade. And we're just putting this over the entire lid. So this is almost like an iced cranberry eye look. And you can also bring it into the crease. I love using topper shades because it really hides any little imperfections there. If you're not that great at blending, just put some sparkle over it. It also just looks beautiful over top of, you know how we gradiated the eye here, so we had the darker on the outer corner and then lighter on the inner. Going over top of that line, it just makes the whole transition even smoother. I'm going back in with that highlighter from the first palette that I showed you guys. This is the Cookie highlighter by Benefit. But any like champagne highlighter, if you have a champagne eyeshadow, you can just use that on the inner corner. There's something about the inner corner that just really ties the whole look together. It just makes you look more awake. It finishes the eye look. And then I even tap it into like the inner corner of that eyeshadow too, instead of just being like a super stark highlight. Now for eyeliner, I'm going in with, this is the Tattoo Liner by KVD. You can obviously use any eyeliner for this. And I'm gonna be focusing primarily on the outer corners here. And then I'm gonna go in and smoke it out a little bit with some black eyeshadow. And for this, I just kind of roughly map out the wing so it doesn't need to be perfect. Then I go in with a liner brush and then I just tap over that liner. It just gives it more of like a sultry look. And also, if you're not that great at winged liner, this will be your best friend. This is one of those steps that makes a makeup look even easier by not having to be super precise, but it also just really looks like you know what you're doing. It looks like an advanced step. Then you can even take this to the outer corner of your lash line, tie in more of like a cat eye look, and then I just lightly shade on the inner half of my eye. For mascara, I'm using the Go Big or Go Home by KVD. Go underneath as well, but primarily focusing on the outer lashes on the bottom. Real quick before we put on the lashes, I'm just gonna glue down my brows. So this is, or set my brows, glued on my brows. This is the St. Luxe Brow Gel. Has just a little mini spoolie here, and this is just a clear gel. This one actually holds my brows in place all day, which is really hard to do for some reason. I don't have like really unruly brows, but I just found that so many brow gels just don't work. It's just like this one, and I think there's one by Anastasia Beverly Hills. That one works too, but it costs so much money that it's just like not worth it to me. So I go back and forth between using this, and when I run out of this, I'll just go back to my tried and true, which is just hairspray. I just take hairspray on a spoolie, rub it into my hand, and then put it on the brows. For the lashes, I've been loving these. I get these right on Amazon. These are the Befolian, I think is how you pronounce it, mink or false mink. What I like to do with these is I actually cut them almost in half, but I leave like 4, maybe I should do like 5 this time. I usually leave about 4 of these, so if you look at it, like I just count like, let me see if I can stick this to my finger. I usually count like the little wispy part, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, but then maybe I'll make them a little bit longer this time for this eye look. It'll still give you that cat eye appearance. It'll just be a little bit more drama. And I'm gonna use my Duo Black Lash Glue. Or I guess it's not called black, it's just called dark. I'm just gonna apply these to the lashes, and then I'm gonna wait a few minutes for them to get tacky before we put them on. All right, now we're gonna pop these guys on. Oh, I just love these lashes. These are perfect for a dramatic lash, but they don't weigh your eyes down. It's a really thin band on them. Not like really thin, but not like super thick. My eyes are really sensitive to heavy lashes, so I love that I found these. Now for lips, I typically go for more of like a nude lip. My big thing has just been liner and gloss, but the lip liner that I love is by, you guys aren't even gonna be able to see this, but this is Mud Cosmetics in the shade Natural. I mean, I don't know why I'm holding it up at this point, but this is literally my lip shade. It just makes my lips look so natural. And my lips like go in on the inner corner. I don't know if you can see that, I'm sure you can, but I just pop them out a little bit. Then I just define more of the Cupid's bow and then tie it all together. It always takes me forever to do my lips because I have a very particular lip shape that I like doing. And also my lips are pretty uneven, especially my top lip. So it takes me a long time, but how good does this pencil look? And then I like to do just the outers on each side and then blend it. This is a great method to do, especially if you're just going in with a gloss, because it doesn't need to be a super precise lip liner. I used to line the entire bottom lip, but what happens is if you're eating something, it all goes like right on your chin here because your bottom lip obviously goes like that and then it just gets everywhere. So I've just been doing the outer corners and then smudging it. Sometimes you will get a little bit of something on there, but then you can just kind of tap it away. Whereas the other one, you just looked like you had like a goatee. Okay, so for lips, I'm gonna show you guys what I typically do on like a normal day. In case you just want more of like a natural lip, there is this guy. So this one is actually, this started out as a clear gloss. What I did was I used this wand on like a red lipstick just to put like coating over top of it when it was a clear gloss. And then when I dipped it back in, it turned it into this color and I love it. It actually reminds me a lot of the Cab lip oil. This one is in the shade Rum Punch. But yeah, this is a plumping formula, so I really love that this made it this color. And then what you do is just smudge that lip liner. So this is more of like a natural lip if you just want kind of like a clear gloss look. And then to make that lip liner like a little bit more natural, just dab over top of it. Now, if you want more of like a colored gloss, I love this one by Milani. This has been my favorite. I've been using it every single day. This is Little Secret. And this is their, what is it? It's their Max formula, Keep It Full. So this is plumping as well. I just love this. I love this shade. And it just goes perfectly with this eye look. Oh. And this is really cheap since this is Milani. If you're looking for a matte version of this shade, ColourPop has a really good one. This is their, oh, it walked away. But this is their Fresh Kiss formula. It's like a soft matte, but it's literally like the same color. And this wears really well too, and it's not over drying for a matte. Like I said, it's like a soft matte. Okay guys, so I forgot to show you a red lip version just in case you want like a holiday like red lip. I threw on the shirt for the thumbnail just to look holiday-y, even though I've never worn this top of my life. This is the Saher's Art Comfort Matte Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Adele. I love this shade. It's such a beautiful color. It's a very classic red, but it has a, it's more of like a blue toned red, so it makes your teeth look really white. So beautiful. Like I said, this is a comfort matte, so it doesn't dry down to the point where your lips are super crackly, but it does wear really well. Okay, back to what I was saying. Now I'm just gonna dust off my forehead. Then we're also gonna dust off the sides here. That's where we had that setting powder. We made it look extra chiseled. And I'm just gonna grab another brush that has some of my contour shade already on it, just to meld these together. A little extra blush. And I don't use highlighter on like my face really, just on my nose. I know someone asked that in another video of mine. I don't really like that look anymore. And this is kind of weird, but I also tap the blush on my chin and on my forehead just a little bit. Like it just kind of completes the look. If you guys want your makeup to be locked in, the Final Seal by Ben Nye is so good. This is a matte makeup sealer. It smells just like mint. Gives you almost like a peppermint tingle. I always thought it was weird when other people would use fans on their channel, but like now I get it. To lock that matte in a little bit more, I love going in with the Urban Decay. This is, the All-Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. This just helps to seal it in. And part of the reason why you use setting spray is to get rid of that powdery look. But this setting powder does not give you a powdery look. So you're not like undoing the setting spray. I just popped on some jewelry, and let me know what you guys think of this holiday makeup look. I mean, to be honest with you guys, this is kind of like an everyday look for me. I mean, I haven't gone into the cranberry realm in a little bit, but this isn't too far off from what I normally do. But hopefully this will help you guys if you're looking for a Christmas makeup look or a New Year's makeup look, a winter party makeup look, or just a winter makeup look. I don't know, all these makeup looks. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show you guys another little like makeup trick kind of thing. If you guys live in areas where it's not like hot all year round, I love to like paint my hands, so I didn't do it yet, but I take like this big brush that I got from Huda Beauty. This is the Huda Beauty Face Build and Fluff Brush. You could take any brush really. I like to go in with, this one is the Airbrushed Legs by Sally Hansen, but this does give you a little bit of flashback. If you're using a little tiny bit of it, it shouldn't do anything, it should be no big deal. But if you don't want to worry about that at all, get the spray version. But yeah, I just dip this brush in the cap, just so that it's a little tiny bit, like a tiny amount. And then I just rub it on my hands. Then I take my actual hand and then just rub it in. I still have glitter on my hands from when I did my eyes, so my hand looks a little glittery right now. But it just helps get rid of that gray look that your hands naturally get, and it helps blend in your face a little bit more. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love you guys so much. I am starting to vlog again, just to give you guys an idea of like future content to expect. Also, follow me over on Instagram if you haven't already, or you don't follow me over there. I do very different things over there than I do on here. This is mainly like my makeup page. The other one is more like makeup transformations, cartoon characters, like body painting kind of thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll leave that linked in the description. Make sure to give this video a like, that really helps me out. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.